Anita Mottram. So I'm Owens. So I'm Vikki McCall. I'm from the University of Stirling. I'm a principal occupational therapist at Kirklees Council.
So I'm an occupational therapist.
Okay, so I lead the occupational therapy service at Bromley Council.
So I run a multidisciplinary HIA, home improvement agency.
Well, I'm an occupational therapist.
Yeah.
I'm a housing occupational therapist by background, which is one of the reasons I'm really thrilled to be here today. But my day job now is that I'm a professional advisor for the Royal College of Occupational Therapists.
So I'm an occupational therapist and I'm clinical director of the OT service.
I'm the housing OT for Stockport Homes, which is in Allo, to Stockport Council.
And I do a lot of research in regards to housing and ageing and how we prepare for the ageing population, with a specific interest in adaptations. But also I'm chair of the Yorkshire and Humber Regional Principal OT Network. And basically it's a role that was developed around about 2018. It's a strategic role and it's an opportunity to actually participate in the senior leadership team within adult social care. But I've got the advantage in that I can actually work with any part of the council at all. So I dip in and out of a range of different services, looking at where there's service redesign or development opportunities, and very much how we can do things differently, as well as supporting practitioners on the front line as well.
My main kind of career path has been around training and upskilling people who want to be able to get into prescribing or recommending solutions like adaptations. So around mostly the Trusted Assessor framework, and I've dedicated the last 10 years nearly to being able to develop that and bring it forward.
So we're quite a big service there. We've got various different teams. We provide obviously the major adaptations, which is the focus of today, but we've also got the reablement service and assistive technology and care link. So we're a big service, and it's I'm very pleased to say an almost fully staffed team, so we've done really well there.
So I've been in the industry for 23 years, it feels like a lifetime, dealing with adaptations, dealing with occupational therapists, technical officers, and I do a lot of work with foundations because we really support what the role of foundations is.
So that's a team comprising of caseworkers, occupational therapists, assistants, and technical officers as well. So it's the complete package. I also have social prescribers as well. So the whole remit of my team is about having a holistic approach to housing problems and trying to make homes healthy and safe for people to keep them living independently within their own home for as long as possible.
So my job really is to be a bridge, I would say, between our members, who are mainly occupational therapists, and the occupational therapy support workforce, and then people who are making decisions about the way that our health and care services run. So partly about translating policy into practice for our members, but also thinking about what the day-to-day reality and challenges are for OTs, so that we can then feed that back to the people who are making the decisions to make sure that our members are supported and represented in all the decisions that they're making at a national level.
We work in partnership with local authorities and are working with a number of local authorities across the UK to help reduce their DFG waiting list. We work with adults and with children's services.
We hold all the stock for the council, and we also build our own stock as well. We've got a lot of charity arms to the company as well. So I was invited to help here with ProCare. They do our bathrooms, and I met Karen through looking at specs and things like that, and she asked me to come because I have a background in a locum for 10 years, and I've done loads of different projects and worked on various different ways of assessing people basically in the community, health, social care, private. So she asked me to come and support her with the talk on self-assessment and remote assessments to try and speed up the process of a disabled facilities grant.
We've got opportunities of streamlining processes, looking at doing things differently.
Times are starting to change and people are starting to become more accepting.
And it just brings everyone together, and I think it creates that energy, and that enthusiasm to do something positive.
As an industry, there's pockets of excellence.
Having everyone involved from every step of the journey helps to what barriers they find on the way and things like that. So
we can work better together, because if we don't understand them, they don't understand us, and we're just going to clash.
I think events, especially being face to face, is just so wonderful, and being able to see people in the audience respond, and you're singing to their hearts, at different times. And I'm definitely a people person, so I get a lot of energy from that kind of bouncing to and fro. I think that the key people in the audience aren't told very often how important they are, so it's nice to show them the weight of evidence. Actually, what you're doing day to day is incredibly important for a variety of people.
Definitely, I think it's so interesting to bring together different stakeholders. Obviously, we've all got slightly different priorities in what we're doing, and I think the challenge between getting things done quickly to clear our backlogs and getting things done very thoroughly and holistically, I see that as being two challenges.
It's definitely beneficial to have the different perspectives, because they all have different ideas of how their day-to-day works, and they see different challenges. The difference between an OT housing occupational therapist and a social services occupational therapist, their challenges are different as well, because there's different restraints in different environments for them.
This is the opportunity to come and share ideas and look at how we can do things better, how we can do things differently. Everyone's here for the same purpose. They want to do things better, they want to learn, they want to see how we can do things differently.
People are looking for that evidence. They're looking for, the weapon, the tool to take forward to push the agenda for adaptations, which I think is right. It doesn't get a lot of priority politically. It's sometimes a little bit of a forgotten process, but actually what we see here and what everybody's sharing here is actually it's essential activity that's going to be giving us the best chance of preparing for an ageing population.
I started to develop quite a nice friendship with Derek in particular. He was the one that I spoke to mainly, and I just found it quite sad that every time we'd catch up and I'd ask, are you still in the home, what's happening? And he's like, yeah, I'm still here. But the one thing I would take from that, he was so upbeat about the process and and about his circumstance. He just wanted more awareness about the DFG really, and I think what's striking even in Peter's case as well is just how influential families are in terms of being the ones to advocate, being the ones to share information. So I just think there needs to be a lot more awareness of the DFG and what it can offer people really.
It's really interesting to bring the lens of stigma to the world of adaptations, because I think the project is going forward to say, well, housing adaptations are a really tangible way that we can include people and tackle stigma attached to place, tackle stigma attached to disability, and tackle stigma attached to ageing.
People are keen to change, it's just the barriers that we need to break down to enable them changes to happen. Everyone wants it to improve. It will reduce resources on the OT so we can be involved in more complex cases as opposed to the sort of low level stuff. But we found a lot of the barriers are around sort of the ageing population and access to technology, and guidance and regulations is a big one.
This is my favourite project in the world at the moment. It was the Invite project, so we were looking at assistive technology with Stormwater Housing Association and funded by the Longley Foundation. And to just ask people what they need first is the first step in the process, and it's sometimes very surprising. And then to be able to match what people need, so then it might not be a tablet. A lot of people said, oh, I've got 3 of those in my drawer, I don't use them. But with arthritis and different health needs, well, the answer might just be a simple one-press kettle so they can make a cup of tea whenever they like, or a jar opener so they can open the milk. And these are really small items but with big impact, on day-to-day activities.
Yeah, it's very much a multidisciplinary system. Everyone has a different and unique skill set that they can bring. So yeah, absolutely, occupational therapists are crucial. Of course, I'm going to say that, but so is everyone else who's involved in the system. So that the trusted assessors, the technical officers, the surveyors, everyone has their part to play.